Today's new printer day at the Printasaurus, and we have the AD5X by Flashforge. This is Flashforge's newest 3D printer. It is a multicolor CoreXY high-speed printer. Is it easy to use? I'm Aaron, this is the Printasaurus, and we're going to find out. Let's get to it. Before we get started, I did want to mention that Flashforge did provide this printer for review. What I show you today is my opinion, so let's jump into it. So basic setup for the Flashforge AD5X. It is very, very simple. So out of the box onto our table, it didn't require a whole lot of setup. Basically, you pull it out of the box, remove the foam, everything's packed nice and neat. The bed is fixed within the enclosure here. So you just have to remove your front screen, which is this guy right here, and then you clip it in place. So 4 screws for that, and you don't have to plug anything in, and it slides right in place to the front brackets. Once you have that secured, you do have to do a little bit of work. You have a hub here, and this is a 4-port hub for your spools here on the side because it is a multicolor printer. So you attach your hub, there's a bracket that screws into place, you take the hub, you slide it, it clips in. Then you connect your PTFE tubes here and it goes to a 4-port hub on your tool head. You screw that in place and that is all you have to do for the initial setup there. Then, similar to what you would find on, say, a bamboo printer with an AMS, you have a communication cable and that connects from your hub to the back of the printer. And you can secure that in place with an additional bracket that's here on the back, and you are done with the initial setup. There's one last important step that you do have to do, and that is your bed. So when these printers are shipped, pretty much all the CoreXY printers with a bed that's not fixed, you have to unscrew some bolts because when they ship it, they keep it secured. And so you have 3 bolts. They're notated by little green arrows. You have 1 in the middle in the back where that lead screw is, and then you have 2 in the front. Make sure you remove those because we're going to have a bad day if we don't. So disclaimer, remove those screws before you power on your printer. So once you get your hub and everything connected, you have these spool holders that are holding my 4 spools that I have loaded here. They simply clip in place. They're numbered 1 through 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's very simple. Everything is well laid out. This printer is catered to, I would say, the beginners. It's very user-friendly. So far, everything has been easy to operate. That assembly was very simple, and so is the initial configuration. So you just turn this printer on, and once it's on, you have your screen on the front that we're going to work with. You're going to select your language, then you're going to select your Wi-Fi. If you don't want to use Wi-Fi, there's an Ethernet port here on the back, so you can use that as well. Once you get past your Wi-Fi setup, it is going to want to do a calibration. So let the printer do what it needs to do. It's going to calibrate, it's going to bed level, it's going to move the tool head around, it's going to home, and once that's completed, it will let you know, and then we are ready to print. So really, all in all, probably 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops to being able to print. That to me is a very easy and user-friendly setup. Today's video is brought to you by PCBWay, PCBWay.com. Jump online, check out their website, utilize their service. They've got great customer service. Everything you need is right there on the website. CNC, 3D printing, injection molding, you name it, they can do it. Quality service, fast shipping, PCBWay.com. Now, it was easy enough to download our slicer. We have our printer connected. You've got some basic settings. You don't have a camera on this. I wish it did. That is an option on their website. I believe it's 39 bucks to add a camera to the setup. Build volume 220 by 220 by 250 for your overall build volume. The nozzle is toolless, very easy. It is easy to swap. You just pull the cover off, pull your boot off of the nozzle. Make sure it is cooled down before you do this. And then you simply open the tab and you can pull your nozzle out and swap it. So a toolless setup is great, especially at this price point. I feel like that is a great feature. So I did a multicolor print right away. Yeah, I know, living on the edge, right? So I kicked off a multicolor print right away. It was a 6-hour print. and I decided to just go for it. There's Flashforge files that are on this printer. I used one of them. I needed a headphone stand for my headphones, and they had this tentacle looking thing, like octopus tentacle on a platform. So I decided to print that. No issues. This thing did fantastic. Something else that we need to print is a Purge chute. So we had some filament waste. That is normal when it comes to multicolor printing. You have to purge the colors as it transitions to the other color, so you don't have any bleeds, things like that. So fully expected, but hey, 6 hours later, I had to clean the floor a little bit. So we're gonna print a Purge chute as well. And I'll put those files down below to what I settled on. So I tested a few other prints. One of them I did here was this Roadrunner. Now this isn't a multi-color print per se. It is plate based, and what I mean by that is each color is individually on the plate. So I told you I kicked off that tentacle print, and that was a 6-hour print multicolor, and it turned out great. So really here I'm just testing the reliability. Can we successfully print multiple times without any issues, things like that. So all this is done in PLA. And it turned out great. I did have a failure due to some bed adhesion issues. So that's the tail here. So what I ended up doing is I just cut it in the slicer, and I'm going to just glue the top part of the tail on. So not the end of the world. Flashforge does give you some adhesion promoter. I should have used it, but I didn't. And hey, I learned my lesson. But it is nice enough that they provide some tools, they provide some snips, and they provide some adhesion promoter for your PEI build plate that they have. This thing has printed great so far. Haven't had to tweak anything, didn't change any profiles, just ran with the PLA basic profile. I did a PETG print as well, and ran with the basic PETG profile as well, and Orca Flashforge, and guess what? Not a single issue. This thing printed perfectly. I've not had to adjust anything yet with this printer. When we do the enclosure, we will try SA, ABS, but for now, PLA, PETG, no performance issues whatsoever. So that's a wrap. The AD5X by Flashforge is $399 US, and I feel like it's great value. I really enjoyed working with this printer. I liked how the multicolor setup is set up on the side of the printer, keeps everything in one unit, so you don't have like that AMS or that AMS light sticking off to the side. Everything is just right on the printer. I really didn't experience any printing issues with this printer. If I wanted to knock anything at all on this printer, I wasn't a huge fan of the screen. I thought it was a little laggy. That's going to be user preference. I like to use my slicer more so than the screen. I have a lot of headless printers because of that. So a screen really isn't that big of a deal to me. And for the value, $399, I feel like it's kind of expected to have a couple things here and there that may not be perfect. But for what you're buying this for and what you're trying to do with it, which is printing, it does print, and it prints well. So next up, I'm going to cover the AD5X enclosure. So I'm going to do that in a separate video because we have to print some parts and we'll be able to customize it. So stay tuned for that. Really appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, ask me anything you want. Really appreciate it. I love interacting with everyone. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.